KOCT, its board of directors, staff, and the City of Oceanside do not support nor promote any candidates. We provide the following program as a public service for voters. All candidates have been invited to participate in this program, but not all were able to or chose to do so.
Hi, I'm Michelle Keeler, and this is my family farm where we've been growing cut flowers here in Oceanside for over 40 years. We love farming. Agriculture is in our blood. It's something we do. It's getting more and more difficult every day to stay in farming with the cost of water, the issue with labor, and cheap foreign imports coming in from places like Mexico. It is more and more difficult every single day. But we love what we do, and that's why we're here. 20 years ago, when I left my studies and came back to the family farms, we faced another issue. A local group of people who live around here wanted to put us out of business. And we would have been put out of business by the fact that they wanted to restrict farming in this area. They wanted to restrict what we could grow, how we would grow it, the equipment we could use, hours of operation. It becomes impossible to farm when outside people who have no clue about agriculture want to come in and tell us how to farm. We're the farmers and we know how to do it. Now today, 20 years later, that same group of people are attacking us with Measure Y. And Measure Y does the exact same thing. It comes and puts farmers in this area out of business. How does it do that? Well, Measure Y restricts what we can do on our land and on our farms. Any changes has to go to a vote of the people, and that's not realistic for farmers like us. Also, Measure Y devalues our land, and this confuses people. When you bring in a measure like this, the property values drop. And farmers, we use our land as collateral to get our operating loans so we can run a farm and we can keep farming. If we lose those, we go out of business. The problem with Measure Y is it says it protects farming, but it doesn't protect the farmer. If it puts the farmer out of business, then there's no farmland to protect. And Measure Y leaves only one alternative to farmers, and that's to cut up our land in 2.5-acre estates to build mansions that only the rich can afford. And nobody wants to see that happen to South Morrow Hills. We want to protect farming and protect our farmland. Measure Y doesn't do that. The other thing Measure Y says that it does is it protects open space here in Oceanside, and that is a lie. Open space and recreational areas are already protected under Section 2, Article 13 of the City Code. Please go look it up yourself. Open space, recreational areas in Oceanside is owned by the people, and so it can't be changed unless to go to a vote of the people. So Measure Y doesn't change anything that isn't already protected under the Section 2 of Article 13. So really what Measure Y is, it's an attack on farmers. It's an attack on farmland. And it's just trying to restrict us to a point of putting us out of business so that these estates can be built for the rich. We want to protect the farmers. We want to protect the farmland. And so we beg you, we the farmers beg you, please vote no on Measure Y.
Hi, Oceanside. My name's Diane Nygaard. I support Yes on Y, the SOAR Initiative, and here's why you should too. Yes on Y will give the people of Oceanside a voice, the right to vote on projects that will irreversibly change our community by converting some of our priceless parks and open space or farmland into more dense development. This is not just about farmland. We were promised a park at El Corazon for over 20 years, and the bulldozers are already grading for 70 condos that was supposed to be the entrance to our park. What kind of park will we end up with? SOAR got on our ballot because 13,522 of us signed a petition to put it on the ballot. That grassroots effort was started when Integral, one of the largest developers in this country, proposed to build over 900 homes on prime Oceanside farmland. Several of the small farmers in Oceanside did their homework. They learned about SOAR initiatives in Ventura and Napa County. The people there passed SOAR over 20 years ago, and in 2016 they passed it a second time because it works. SOAR doesn't stop all sprawl development, but it sure makes sure that any project that gets approved is one the community supports, and the community gets to decide, not politicians and outside developers. People here told us they signed the petition because they don't want dense development everywhere. They want to have the right to decide on the large projects that would change our existing general plan and not give that power to 3 members of the City Council. They want to preserve the parks and open space and farmland so we have some breathing room and we aren't just another LA. And they're tired of the traffic congestion that comes from poorly planned development. And they definitely think they should have a say if they're going to take a hit to their pocketbooks to pay for the infrastructure for developers to profit from our community. So why are the developers against why? They're using their money and influence to fund a deceptive campaign claiming they want to save farmland. Do you know any developers who want to farm? I sure don't. The opposition campaign is funded by North River Farms. That is not a farmer. That is Integral, the developer who wants to build hundreds of homes on our farmland. It's funded by the Building Industry Association, a lobbying group for developers, and by 2 of the large landowners who want to develop their land. This is not about farming, it's about money. And it's about the big money that comes from converting farmland into more high-density housing because that's where the fast profits are. Yes on Why will give the people of Oceanside a voice, the right to vote on projects that will irreversibly change our community. Yes on Why will support our farmers who actually want to farm and the agritourism that will help make farming remain viable. Yes on Why will make sure our tax dollars are spent wisely. Our farmland now has septic systems and 2-lane narrow roads. Remember the 2-hour wait to evacuate during the lilac fire in December? Developing in rural areas means every single month we're all going to pay higher fees for expanded sewer system and more water and roads and public safety. Well, that developer is long gone. Yes on Why puts our community first. That's why we support Yes on Why, and we ask you to join us and vote Yes on Why on November 6th. But please go way down to the bottom of the ballot. Don't overlook us. We're endorsed by the League of Women Voters, the small farmers of Oceanside who want to farm, and the thousands of others who believe in preserving farmland and who care about our community. Please vote Yes on Why and yes for Oceanside.
Hello, my name is Stacey Begin, and I am running for Oceanside School Board Trustee Area 3. I believe Oceanside needs new leadership for student success. I am the proud parent of a 5th grade student who's enrolled in the only dual language immersion program in Oceanside Unified. I am also a National Board certified teacher with over 25 years of experience in public education. I've been a classroom special ed teacher in Oceanside Unified and a university professor, and now I currently work for California Teachers Association. I support the labor management relations in 13 school districts in San Diego County, advocating for students, conducting trainings, researching and analyzing district finances, special education, and curriculum. My experience as a classroom teacher and background in education has resulted in dedication to high expectations for all students. As a classroom teacher, I learned the key to student success is the collaboration between teachers and parents. Let's say that again. The collaborative relationships between teachers, parents, and district leadership is the key to improving our district's success. My experience is in the classroom, the district, and throughout our community. The most important responsibility of the Oceanside School Board is improving student achievement by working with our community. Unfortunately, there has been a clear disconnect in our district and the lack of authentic collaboration. I was motivated to run by my recent experience advocating with other parents for the expansion of the dual language program into middle and high school. My experience with the school district leadership and school board was frustrating and unnecessarily challenging. We were ultimately successful, but the district created needless hurdles we navigated when we created a stakeholder committee tasked with developing a district-wide 2-way bilingual immersion plan. That experience led me to connect with other parents in our community. Reinventing our parent committees and creating meaningful opportunities for parent engagement is important. I worked with the district to improve our district parent advisory committee, including designing the agendas, coordinating locations, and I worked with the Oceanside Teachers Association to provide the food and childcare for our meetings. These improvements led to significant increase in the committee attendance. Parents now have critical input on our local control accountability plan. I have recently connected with a passionate parent who has started a special education parent network and is struggling to get support from our district. With my support, this parent and her small group of parents have secured a location in our community and have been sharing information with special educators and at back-to-school nights throughout our district. I also worked last year with other committed parents starting a district-wide parent network, Oceanside Parents for Kids, OP for K. These parent networks are effective because they are designed by parents, for parents, to support parents. I'm committed to actively engaging parents, families, and teachers in conversations and decision-making. As a board member, I will bring citizen groups together on matters critical to student success. I strongly believe in an accountability-driven district that makes informed decisions about educational programs, staffing, and resources. I will work with other trustees to set clear priorities, sensibly allocate funding, collect data, and achieve Oceanside unified goals. I have a unique perspective and expertise to offer as a school board trustee. I serve on the Reynolds Elementary School Site Council. For my second term, I'm actively involved in our parent-teacher organization at my son's school, but I'm also a member of a district-wide committee for Oceanside Local Control Accountability Stakeholders Group. I have built long-standing relationships with Oceanside parents and teachers. I am proud to share that I have been endorsed by the Oceanside Teachers Association, Oceanside Parents for Kids, North County Labor Alliance, San Diego Democratic Party, current OUSD School Board member Eleanor Evans, and current Carlsbad School Board member Kathy Rawlings. We know Oceanside is struggling with finances with the recent contract negotiations with teachers, which has alienated parents and staff. It is time to rebuild our relationships and focus on student success. For more information about my campaign, visit me on Facebook at Begin for OUSD Board. I respectfully ask for your vote. Let's begin to rebuild Oceanside Unified School District together.
Hi, my name is Oscarino Ortega, candidate Oceanside Unified School District, Area 1. My message is fighting violence through the power of education. By implementing mental health classes, vocational programs, and creating parent outreach groups, we could defeat the problem that we see in my community today. I'm 32 years old, I'm a parent of two. I grew up right here in Oceanside. I've seen firsthand what violence could do to a family. At the age of 21, I hit rock bottom, lost everything, and I lost everybody. And ever since, I wake up every morning and try to better myself. I'm not an educator, so I don't want to pretend something I'm not. But I have 10 years in the logistics field, and combined with my story, I believe I could be invaluable to the school board. On November 6th, I'm asking for your support. I'm hoping you could be open-minded and not judge me for who I was and for my wrongdoings, but judge me for how far I come in my life and every single obstacle I overcome to be here today in front of you, asking for your help, asking for your support, asking for your vote. A vote today from you means I could save a life tomorrow. Again, my name is Oscarin. Vote for me.
Hello, my name is Dan Ayman, and I am running for the Oceanside Unified School Board of Trustees in District 1. My wife Jeannie and I, along with our 3 daughters, have made Oceanside our home since 1991. I am a veteran of the Vietnam War. I was an officer and a helicopter pilot. After my service, I received a bachelor's degree in business administration from Cal State Long Beach. Shortly after graduation, I founded a small manufacturing company, which I ran for over 30 years, before retiring in 2011. My wife Jeannie recently retired from Oceanside Unified after serving as a principal and then director for over 24 years. Our daughters attended Oceanside schools, and during this time, all received an excellent education. All 3 of them went on to graduate from 4-year institutions and are successful in their careers. This is as it should be. However, over the past several years, the district has lost its way. Oceanside deserves better. For instance, in the past 2 years, Oceanside has submitted a qualified budget to the County Superintendent of Schools. This means they may not be able to meet their financial obligations. This school year, $8 million had to be cut, and projections for the next 2 years have the district in a $34.9 million hole. If this is not turned around soon, the state could likely take control of the district's finances. With my business background, I believe I can be an asset on the board for evaluating fiscal policy. A second interest includes the core basics of a good education, namely reading, writing, and math. A few years ago, the scores in these subjects were on the rise. Now, test scores are dropping. One of the reasons for this alarming turnaround are the elimination of quarterly assessments. Without these assessments, there is no data to measure the progress of any student, including our large number of English language learners who are being neglected. We need to bring back the quarterly assessments. Another matter of interest has been the introduction of the 3 R's, or, yes, less euphemistically, sex ed. It was thought a good idea to begin teaching this curriculum in kindergarten, even though the law only requires it once in middle school and once in high school. This has been very poorly received by many parents in the district. It was said, well, you can opt your child out, but once the information is given to some children, you know that graphic information will be shared with the other children on the playground. After much parental opposition, it was decided to take a step back and rethink this program. I want to be a part of the reevaluation of this program. Let's follow the law and not take the parents' rightful place in teaching their children core family values. While we're at it, let's make it opt-in and not opt-out. Finally, there was a time in our school district when the different governmental and civic groups would meet on a regular basis. If we could return to that model of community involvement with the school district, city council, police department, fire department, parks and recreation, as well as local business and civic leaders, I think we could open up opportunities for our students for employment, internships, and mentoring. Right now, I think we underserve our students who do not want to go on to college. We need to provide them with vocational paths as well as college path courses. With the whole community involved in the education of our students, we can also give those looking to join a trade an insight and even real-life experiences as an option for their careers. Recently, I heard some administrators who see value in such an approach. I would like to help them make those opportunities a reality. Do I think some may feel these ideas are too ambitious at a time when the district is in such a challenging financial position? Yes, but I think we can get the district back on track with a solid fiscal plan. We can become ambitious, and we can once again provide that excellent educational experience that my 3 daughters received here in Oceanside. I have to admit, I have a selfish reason, or I should say 2 selfish reasons, for seeking a position on the board. I have a grandson in the 3rd grade here in Oceanside, and a granddaughter who will be entering kindergarten next year. I feel I owe it to them, as well as all the children, to try and ensure the same great education that my daughters received. Thank you.
Hello, Oceanside voters. I'm Victor Roy, running for Oceanside City Treasurer. Please vote for Victor. Yes for Victor. I'm first on your ballot. As Treasurer, I will be responsible for safeguarding the city's money and finances. As a lifelong successful value investor, I have comprehensive knowledge of finance, CDs, bonds, and other types of city investments in accordance with state and federal laws that provide safety, liquidity, and yield. I have carefully studied the city's financial reports. Listen, this is not rocket science. One must be prepared and a numbers expert, which I am. I will do a great job for you and Oceanside. Your trust and vote in me is my solemn bond to you. I will expand the scope of the Citizen Investment Oversight Committee, enhance the comprehensibility of the city's financial information, and expand transparency and information available on the City Treasurer's website. I am an Oceanside resident, taxpayer, and homeowner for 20 years, and my family has been in Oceanside for over 40 years. As a community advocate, I have regularly participated in numerous volunteer organizations, events, and charities to benefit the greater Oceanside community, including I have been elected by my peers to be the current president of the Friends of Oceanside Parks and Recreation, the vice president of the Friends of the Oceanside Public Library. I am a founding member of the Oceanside Charitable Foundation. I care about Oceanside for our people, our resources, our quality of life, and our future. I'm ready, willing, and able to serve you and our good city. You get good value for your vote when you vote for Victor. Vote yes for Victor. I am a native bilingual Californian. Hablo español. Hola, mis amigos y amigas. Salud a ustedes, mujeres y caballeros. ¿Cómo están hoy? Mi casa es su casa. El dinero y los valores en cartera de nuestra ciudad es muy importante para ti y para mí. Por favor, dame tus votos. Gracias. I am a college graduate from the University of California, Los Angeles, bachelor's geography. I retired from a successful aviation career of 27 years. I'm honest, trustworthy, and reliable. I live within my means. I have no personal debts, which proves I know how to handle and manage money wisely. I am independent in that none of my family is employed by the City of Oceanside, whereas my opponent was appointed only last year, not elected, and he did not disclose that he was and is the husband of the assistant city attorney. Vote yes for Victor, not trickster. Let us be clear that I stand for keeping city investments safe and growing with periodic adjustments for improvements to higher yields. Maximizing investment returns is allowed by state and federal law, providing greater transparency for everyone, becoming the best public watchdog while overseeing and reviewing all fiscal operations and performing my treasurer duties to the best of my ability. I am the better candidate. My wealth management skills and experience include good planning, good portfolio management, and good income-producing strategies. I am a solid team player that brings a positive attitude and a positive work ethic. Being actively involved matters to me in achieving results when it comes to money and investments. As your city treasurer, I will seek to find opportunities and manage risk so that the city is able to stay on track towards reaching its goals. I am the better candidate. Vote yes for Victor. In closing, I pledge to donate 10% of my treasurer's salary to the Oceanside Charitable Foundation. Together, you and me, we will make Oceanside the best city for us to live, work, play, and worship. And on November 6th or earlier, by your absentee ballot, I am first on the ballot. Vote yes for victory. Please vote for me, Victor Roy, for Oceanside City Treasurer. Thank you, everyone. I dedicate this spot to the memory of our longtime treasurer and esteemed colleague, Rosemary Jones.
KOCT, its board of directors, staff, and the City of Oceanside do not support nor promote any candidates. We provide the following program as a public service for voters. All candidates have been invited to participate in this program, but not all were able to or chose to do so.